Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Market Mastery with your host, Trader Dax. Today, we're going to be looking at total market cap because I think it looks a lot cleaner than any of the other charts, especially to map out this accumulation zone. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be talking about Wyckoff accumulation. We're going to be comparing it to Total 2 and also Ethereum. We're going to be looking at BTC, Solana, some of our other favorite altcoins, Illuvium, LTC, XRP, and LDO. Okay, we're also going to be looking at the two markets which I think are the most important to be tracking at the moment and also looking the most bullish, and that is the ES or SPX and the NASDAQ. Okay, let's get stuck into it. If you are liking our content, please give us a like, subscribe, or share this content with your friends. It really helps me to grow the channel and it gets me excited to make more content for you guys. Okay, let's get stuck into it. Basically, what we're looking at here is the Wyckoff accumulation schematic for total market cap and all of crypto. For me, comparing it against the BTC setup, in my opinion, actually looks a lot cleaner and a lot closer to the schematic. Anyway, so basically, this is the BTC setup, and we had a huge drop, and that was, I think this was when Luna went under, and this is when FTX went under. So it doesn't really line up as cleanly to what you would usually see in a Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and in my opinion, it's sort of thrown a few people off. Thinking that we've actually already broken out and into markup, which is sort of the case with BTC. It's around here, but one important thing is that this is the preliminary support when the first amount of buying comes in. When the early buyers thinking that they're buying the bottom, are getting into the market. But they're just a little bit too early, and they buy in here, preliminary support, before they buy in finally at the selling climax down here, which is the real true bottom. And then we have the spring down here. But looking at this, it's not as clean of Wyckoff accumulation as what this is, right? Now, if you don't know what Wyckoff accumulation is, basically it is a method that market makers, or what realistically we should say the whales, right? A lot of people mischaracterize them in the crypto space as market makers when, realistically they are whales. But basically Wyckoff had a theory, when he was trading, I think almost 100 years ago, that the markets you should view the markets as if they're run by one man, right? And, he calls that the composite man. Some people call it the CEO now, the composite operator or the covert operator. And basically his aim is to control the motions of the younger or less experienced participants in the market, basically to get them to buy or sell when he's trading in the market in the opposite direction, right? So we can see a perfect example of this happening here in our accumulation. We had our selling climax, massive panic, right? We get the rally here, which is our automatic rally, right? And then we come back down to our second test, right? This is realistically second test, phase B. This rally usually comes up a little bit higher, but sort of failed this time. And that was because everything happened with CZ coming out and basically saying he's going to sell all his FTT, and that's going to send FTX bankrupt, which it did. And then we had the infamous collapse, which actually pushed us down, in my opinion, quite quickly, probably prematurely, into the spring area of this accumulation phase. And that's where the whales were really buying into massive panic selling, and or not even panic selling, people just getting completely liquidated their entire accounts, basically, nuked through the FTX, and then potentially selling out the rest of their bags. Similar sort of, I was one of the people to get caught, underneath in this spring area, just in massive amounts of panic and fear, because 70% or a large percentage of your accounts had just taken a big hit, right? But anyway, let's keep moving forward. And basically then we have this rally through here, which is where the composite operator basically shows his hand. And then, we have the pullback to this area here, which is known as our last point of supply, right? So that's sort of a backup action, pullback, and then we get the push back up to the range high, right? So the key to look at here is that the breakout above the preliminary support is really the area that defines us moving into the markup. So in my opinion, a lot of people think that we're already in markup phase at the moment, but we're actually still here in phase D, but we're getting ready to break out of phase D, moving into phase E, which is then into the markup, okay? Now, the target for this breakout here on total is going to be $1.67 trillion. I think this area can get filled pretty quickly. There might be some resistance from, price action back here, but I think this is the main gap that it's going to fill, right? Now, how does that correspond on Bitcoin? Right, that basically pulls us up to, you know, this area up here, which is about 37K. So breakout here, we might see some resistance and issues around the 32K area, but in my opinion, we're going to probably get a pretty quick move up to around this 38 area. I'm not going to go too much into higher targets and why I believe we can come up to the 48K area, but that is basically my target based on, you know, expecting the market to rhyme with previous market cycles and have a breakout of its accumulation range up into about the 0.618 area, which perfectly lines up with this high here, okay? And then, in my opinion, we'll probably have a reaccumulation period until we move into the post-halving rally, which will be the main bull run. And in my opinion, that'll probably be in late 2024. Okay, so the halving is in April 2024 at the end of it, okay? I'm going to do another video on that, so watch out for that probably in the next few days on the halving and high time frame market cycles. Okay, let's keep moving forward though. So that's total, and in my opinion, that's just a really clean breakout of what looks to be, you know, an accumulation range. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is total 2, because we're at a really key level through here and in a massive inverse head and shoulders. Ethereum is leading the way, looking really nice here. And that basically is in another Wyckoff accumulation schematic. Let's get that up. I'll quickly show that one to you. So this is one we're just looking at here, which is, you know, the schematic 1. And this is the schematic 2, right? Which is the rising bottom. So you can see that we don't have the spring phase down here. We just continue to rally through there, right? Which is pretty much what we've seen. We continue to make higher lows, right? So the key is to break out through this level here, which is, we're sort of in our SOS phase here at the moment, getting ready to push up to the range high, which is 20K. And I think that move is going to happen fairly soon. If we look on lower time frames, Ethereum is looking really bullish, and we're finally starting to have a little bit of price action movement against BTC on the ETH BTC pairs. But basically what we're looking at here is a pretty nice, you know, reaccumulation range after a strong rally into reaccumulation. Right, broke below the range low and reclaimed that, and now moving to the upside. So if any of you guys that are following my algorithm, we have had a really nice trade on that so far. I'll show you the entry if my computer will let me. That was our entry through here on this point, right? So we got a really nice entry on that, and now moving to the upside, and the trade's up about 4.4%. So that is in a really good position now. If you are copying our algo at the moment to capture the rest of this move, if this ends up moving to the upside. So it got in about here, it's going to be about a 17% move to the upside for total account gain, right? So that's my target at the moment at this 20 sort of area. Sorry, I shouldn't say 20, I should say 2000 area for Ethereum. Right, and that will be on the back of this breaking out of the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, and pushing pretty quickly up to $685 trillion. Okay. Now, what does that mean for our other altcoins? I think Solana can get a push. It just had a really nice reclaim of the range low. So this looks like a reaccumulation to me as well, right? When we're back above this level, right above this order block through here, it's looking nice. So above 2160, it's looking really strong. And above this green line through here as well, it's looking pretty nice. So I want to see continuation to the upside and push up from pretty much $20 to 26. But this could also get a breakout and push all the way up to 37 soon, in my opinion as well. If BTC and Ethereum do get their breakouts and we have the total 2 breakout and start to push. Okay, so that's what I'm mainly looking for there. Let's have a quick look at a few of the others. So outperformance was LDO. If you've been following me in Discord, I was talking about the potential for this head and shoulders, you know, to get rejected and not actually break to the downside. It looks like that's what's happening at the moment. If we just zoom in on the lower time frames, we can see that this falling wedge through here seems to be the play right now. Just sharpen that line up a little bit. And we've got a nice breakout of that. Now, if it breaks below this level here, which is pretty much below $2, I don't want to be involved in the trade. But looking at this at the moment could be a nice bump and run play. It looks like it wants to move towards this trend line and then if that happens, there's going to be a lot of pressure on these shorts to close, which they're going to be in this zone here. So this would be above the right shoulder. There's probably going to be a bunch of shorts here as well in this zone that, once we sort of hit into these levels, are going to be forced to close. They'll be broken, they'll be have stops above this level here, right? They'll be forced to close by getting stopped out, and people will have liquidations there in those areas as well. So a lot of forced closing can make a really rapid push to the upside on a coin that has been outperforming most of the market. Okay, so this could really get a strong push to the upside if this head and shoulders ends up failing. It's one of my favorite continuation plays in bull market. It's looking really strong at the moment. The other one I wanted to look at is Litecoin, right, which is looking really juicy right now. Right, just had a nice little push, but basically we've been talking about the level through here at $90 or $88, and if we look on the daily time frame, we put in a really nice bull hammer here. So traded below $90 and then got rejected and closed back above, and now we're having the continuation of that pushing to the upside. Okay, Illuvium is the other one that has had really nice outperformance and just looks to be in a massive falling wedge at the moment, and has had quite a large pullback of about 50% since its highs in early Feb. Okay, so if you're playing the reaccumulation game on that one, it's not a bad idea to take a look at that at the moment. XRP is the other one that's absolutely flying at the moment. 1 second. XRP. Let's have a quick look at it here on my chart. So, we've been talking about getting into this one after had its breakout and the nice pullback. That was a really nice 618 pullback through here. Right, and some nice 4-hour bull hammers off the 618 level for the continuation upside. Now we're getting to the point where it's about to break out of this range through here, and XRP pumps can get really aggressive. So I'm not sure how high this is going to go, but the first target for me is pretty much 80 cents. But if they do end up winning the court case, this can go to pretty much previous all-time high levels in my opinion. So just going to go jump on the Bittrex chart. Wait, it doesn't want to come up. 1 second. This is the one that has a previous bull market in it. But, this went all the way up to $3.20. So potentially, we get up to maybe $2.70 for the full cycle play, but $1.50, I think, and $1.40 are probably going to be areas to be pretty watchful of if we can get out of this 87-cent area. But these sort of levels up here around the $2 mark, they sort of do make a bit of sense. It could get up to those levels if they do win the court case. Okay, now the reason why I think everything is going to break out and push the upside, if we look at the ES and the NASDAQ, they look really bullish. Okay, so downtrend through here in the broadening descending wedge, we broke out to the upside of that, came back for the bullish retest on the outside of the channel. We had massive fear and panic going on all through this period here, massive selling. A lot of people caught selling their stocks and into shorts and put options in massive way underneath the trend line through here. And then the Fed basically came out, bank stopped all the banks, added an extra $400 billion of liquidity onto the balance sheet and into the economy / market. So it's not really in the economy, it's just backing up the banks, but it does free up a lot of banks, put them into a much better position. But the key here is we have this falling wedge through here, right? Chart is a little bit messy. There's a bit going on. Apologize for that. I could clean it up just a little bit to make it a bit cleaner for you guys. But the key to watch for here is that we're on the outside of this channel through here, right? We're above the midpoint of this channel. So this is the highs and lows deviations here and here, and this is the midpoint. So there was a lot of support going on here. And if we lost that, I was actually going to get quite bearish and be looking for down here to be the next point of support. But, there was huge selling and fear through here, and it was bought up. And now, in my opinion, this is just inverse head and shoulders waiting to break up to the outside and win the right shoulder at the moment. And the neckline for a daily close is above pretty much 4,050, right? We get a daily close above there. That really opens up to a push up to 4,200 and then a push up to 4,300. Okay, so that is the key to watch for. Where there's a daily close over the next few days, that can happen this week, to be honest, guys. If we look down on the lower time frame, it's a little bit easier to see. right? So for me, we would need a daily close above this level through here. 4-hour close, I want to see above 4,067, but we are rounding out that right shoulder here at the moment. And, we do have the falling wedge in play here also as well. So the falling wedge play target is 4,200. And it looks like it wants to rally at least up to test that, but wouldn't be surprised if, we move back into a much more bullish market across all markets soon and push up to 4,300. But we have to see how the price reacts, because this is a pretty key level through here from the beginning of the range, multi-touch level, okay, at 4,200. But wouldn't be surprised if we got caught up there and then pushed higher. NASDAQ is looking really bullish as well. Right, broadening descending wedge, same type of play. Sorry, chart's just loading in. But, key level at the moment that we're pushing into, and it just looks like we're consolidating, going sideways underneath that level, getting ready to push out and test 3,000, pretty much 700. Okay, so I think once that happens, that's going to give crypto, all crypto markets, Ethereum and BTC, its green light to push pretty hard and aggressively to the upside. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you all in the next episode.